Et on continue avec G0goTBC et Banjo-Kazooie. À toi la parole!
Yo, what's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be speedrunning the third Banjo game of the franchise, which came out on the GBA. I'm probably gonna explain more as the run goes on, since the beginning of the run is fairly slow. So I guess I'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the third Banjo game, which came out on the GBA in, I believe, 2003, and it's a game that few people know, even though it's like a decent game. It follows the classic formula of like the first two games that came out on the Nintendo 64, which means that it is a platformer collectathon, and it is pretty good too. And I'm sure that people that have played the first two would at least suggest to give it a try. So what is the plot of this game? So basically this game happens between Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, so it acts as sort of an interquel between the two games. So you have Grunty that's still stuck under a rock, and basically her sisters and Klungo still haven't found a way to save her at this point. So in order to fix the problem, Klungo basically managed to find a way to suck Grunty's soul out of her body and to put it into a robot. And so by doing so, Grunty is now finally freed. And the first thing that she does is to kidnap Kazooie and go in the past so that Kazooie and Banjo never meet up. It is a weird plot. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's how it goes.
It's the perfect amount of weird for the kind of Banjo-Kazooie games, though.
Yeah, definitely. So you might have seen that we've been talking to this mole Bullseye. It's one of Bottles or Jamjor's ancestor, which will teach us all the abilities throughout this game. So what consists of 100% in this game? We have all Jiggies, all notes, and all moves, all Jinjos, all honeycombs. And I think that's pretty much it. So basically we try to complete the total screen that's on the pause menu. Right, that's an unlucky honeycomb. I don't want to get once there because as I would get a 10 seconds cutscene for that. But with that, we'll be able to do a quick work of these ladders on our way to a loose slide mini game. I swear it's like one of the hardest mini games, and yet it's the first one that everybody plays because you have exactly the right number of eggs that there is on the slide, and I somehow managed to fail that one multiple times in practice.
Yeah, because if you miss it, you need to like redo it over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. I swear, we have a couple of slide minigames like that, like later in the run, and they're all easier than that. So, not sure what came up with what they did with the difficulty scaling with this game.
Little damage boost here.
Yep. You're supposed to kill the enemies to get the Jiggy, but that's too slow.
Yeah. Banjo can take a hit.
So yeah, just as a side note, if you see me not talent shot right now, it's because I don't have Kazooie yet. As I said before, Grunty kidnapped Kazooie, and now I'm only as Banjo, and I'm in the past. The reason why I'm in the past is because Mumbo also sent Banjo in the past as a way to save Kazooie. It makes even less sense if you ask me, because I think if Mumbo had the ability in the other games, like he would do that all the time, but they really tried to make something work with that.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is really the game that needed confusing time travel added to the franchise.
Yes. This minigame is really hard, by the way. It's like you can get like a 34 on this minigame, but I got a 29, which is really good still.
There's going to be a lot of other minigames of that style.
I want that. So now I got rolling, which is good because it's slightly faster than the walking speed. And one thing to note about this game is that if you jump out of a roll, you keep the full rolling speed until you land out of the jump. So it makes it a bit easier compared to the typical movement that you see in the first Banjo games, where you actually need to flutter out of every jump to make sure you don't slow down.
Gogo's not being careless there. All those hits were deliberate.
Yeah, not only is it faster to damage boost because you actually go at rolling speed when you get damage boosted, so you save time from that, but we also needed to dead warp there because we were in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, as you probably saw, when you die in this game, you don't actually get sent back to the beginning of the game, or rather the level, or lose all your nodes. You just go back to the last loading zone you entered, which makes it so that dead warps are not necessarily the greatest in this game. And it also means that we also don't have a quick way to leave levels, so you'll pretty much see that like for every level we will basically have to make our way back manually at the entrance of every level to leave them.
Yeah, this is why Gogo is skipping a few notes here and there, because we're gonna get back to it.
Yes.
The game is gonna force us to get back to it.
Yeah. Also, something to note is that I just collected my first honeycomb in this boss fight. Since I guess the boss fight is like a really intense area that shall not be disturbed, we just skipped the cutscene of the first honeycomb by getting it during this boss fight. So now I don't have to worry about that tutorial cutscene ever again. Obviously, the honeycomb I just got is a hollow honeycomb, which is used for health upgrades. So we sadly cannot skip those.
Here's our friend Mumbo.
Yep, and unlike the other Mumbos that you may find in Banjo-Kazooie or Chewie, this one offers you to reuse transformations between levels. So for some levels, we will be using more than one transformation in a single level. So the first transformation that we have in this game is the mouse. It is actually faster than just Banjo. It goes, in fact, at the same speed as Tantrad, but it's really good at squeezing through tight holes that Banjo just cannot fit into. And with that, we'll be able to clear a few buildings there. I tried to do a mid-air jump off of this loading zone there. It's frame perfect, and it does save like half a second. But
that mouse has some thick booty.
Oh, yes. Yes. Unsure why they did that.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, they always put these cheeky jokes in Banjo games, and
Cheeky joke.
and this game is no exception to that. So now we're pretty much in the cleanup phase of the level, so we do have to make our way back to the entrance of the level, and we'll be basically getting like everything that's left on our way. So there we get our Jiggy for collecting the last chickens that were spread in this area. And with that, we'll be able to get the last things. Oh, I need that. So now we spawn the Jiggy, and we'll be getting our last like normal Jiggy right here by just killing this enemy and saving the sheaves. There's something special about G0goTBC in this game. Wanna tell us about that, Light Mob?
Something special about Jinjo Jiggies.
Yeah, the way I'm about to collect it.
I'm
All right,
remember.
that's all right. So basically, I collected it in the air, and doing so, I basically skip a 10-second cutscene where the Jinjo statue gives you a tip about how to play the game.
Oh yeah.
It's a weird quirk about this Jiggy, like if you're not touching the ground, you just skip a really long cutscene. So with that, we have enough Jiggies to open the second level, and that's where we will be going to. And maybe, just maybe, we will find Kazooie in that level, as it is called Briggle Beach.
For those who don't know, the Breagull is the species of Kazooie.
I need that. Oh. You could see me dodge that Jinjo multiple times there. There's a reason why we do that. It's just faster to get it at the very end of the run.
That poor Jinjo's whistling you is like, hey, aren't you supposed to help me?
Save me!
Yeah.
And
Evanescent song.
here we can do a funny glitch. So basically, in this game, if you walk on the side of a ledge above water and switch directions really quickly, you can build some speed for some reason. And doing that, we can basically save, like, I don't know, a second, like going into this section right here. It will be done in a couple of places in the run, but that's like the first one where we basically like do it in like an invisible way.
Yeah, this is one of the few games where you're kind of happy to see like water because it allows you to go faster.
Oh yes, and in a task like you see that used all over the place. It's crazy. Like, as fun as it is, as fun as that glitch is, it saves 30 minutes and any percent, and that's the reason why like any percent is faster by 30 minutes if you compare the time that a task takes versus like an RTA speed run, because you can basically use that glitch to clip into the Grunty fights early and skip basically the entire game. But obviously we will not be doing that in this run because we need everything.
Hey, there's Kazooie.
Oh hey, our lovely bird. I guess we have to fight Grunty now.
Yeah, just throwing you the final boss right on level 2.
So we have 6 phases of this fight. The first 3 phases are basically the exact same, where Grunty charges at you 3 times and you basically make her charge like at the nearest wall so that it ends faster. And then the last 3 phases look like that, where like Grunty tries to pound you, and so we basically want to put us under Grunty so that she doesn't have to move to pound Banjo. And with that, we can finally free Kazooie about 14 or 15 minutes into the run.
It's be very useful.
Yep. But obviously, since it's Kazooie from the past, she completely forgot all the moves that she had learned in the other game. So all she remembers what to do is how to help Banjo backflip, and we'll be basically using that to basically get a few collectibles in this area that we previously couldn't get. Here we're gonna damage Booze here because the enemy is in a weird way, in a weird place, and we will be basically learning all the Kazooie moves that are in this level.
Yeah, so this is one of the confusing lore where they get sent to the past, and because of that they forgot like what they learned before, so like they kind of are a mix of their past selves and their present selves that got sent to the past. It's very simple when you don't think about it.
Yep. And as I said before, you get to reuse transformations in this game, and here the rat will make another appearance in the second level because we have another tunnel to go through with that. This section is entirely cycle based, so if you have good movement and don't make any mistakes, you can know exactly where the enemies are gonna be placed, and so you can react accordingly.
Is this the only other Banjo game where there's other Breegulls than Kazooie?
I believe so, yes.
So maybe they got extinct. Maybe they only exist in the past.
Yeah. Fun fact, this level was planned to be a lot bigger, but as you can find a really early beta online. You can probably look it up on the cutting room floor or something, but yeah, this level used to be a lot bigger, and this beta also featured an extra world which got cut out from the game, probably due to the lack of memory space on the cartridge.
The cartridge has a lot of memory space. I think it might be debugging or developing time.
Yeah, that's it. Oh. Tried to do a funny thing there. If you roll into a vine there, you can keep the rolling speed by going up the vine faster, but I didn't do it well enough there. But yeah, here finally we get Talent Trot, and we can finally say goodbye to the rolling sounds that are quite annoying.
Which is the fastest, glitchless way to travel, at least.
Yep. So now it's time for the second slide, which is way easier than the first one, because you can basically do the second part of the slide by not doing anything. I'm done. I already won.
Poor Banjo.
All right. Now, if there is any donation going on that have been received recently, it'd be a good time during this minigame. All I have to do is to keep that treasure chest minigame for longer than my opponents.
There's no donation so far, but there's some good reason to donate. The change of stream borders and the stream background is up to 0 because it's a new day. So it's all open for anybody that wants to hijack the stream with the borders or the background. And everything is free, simple donation, and you have your own background and borders, so feel free to donate.
There we go.
Yeah.
So now you can see that the AI is very well programmed.
Yeah. When you don't have the chest, it's a pain to get it back, but once you have the chest, it's really hard to take it away from you if you just camp in a corner.
Yeah, they haven't discovered corner yet. They'll need a few more 100 years of training.
So now we get the flutter ability. It's not a move that gets used often. In the run, I think we only use it twice, in fact. But it is a move that is required for the run for 100%. So we have this pirate boss fight. It's probably the easiest boss fight in the game because you can know exactly where he's gonna spawn. It's the same spot every time. Now, fun fact, if you play on the European version of a game, the third phase takes 2 seconds longer for the skull head to spawn. Like this one, it would take way longer on the PAL version for some reason.
And it's one of the only differences too.
Yeah. The main difference is obviously the fact that you can switch between 3 different languages in the European version, but you can but this boss fight alone is what makes the US version faster, and it's only 2 seconds. Right, scary there. Enemy could have hit me easily. But now we're on our way back to the entrance of the level, since we basically got everything in this level. Oh. So now we collected every seashell, so now we can get a Jiggy for that, and we will be getting the Jinjo Jiggy and the remaining nodes. And again, making sure that we get the Jinjo Jiggy in the air. So now what we will be doing is that we will be doing a bit of overworld movement, simply to get a few Jiggies to open 2 levels at once. And we will probably be doing like going through a scary part right there, because we have a timer Jiggy, and the timer Jiggy is quite lenient, so we will be getting 9 extra nodes on our way there.
This is the speedrunning swag, where you're like, time? Nah.
Yes.
You can just goof around and collect other stuff for that time challenge.
Yeah. Also, it was probably closer than it looked there, because you need to be at the very peak of your backflip to collect the Jiggy, and no other height will work. And with that, we have 24 Jiggies, which is good enough to open 2 levels at once.
See, the thing on the carpet there in the temple, I know they're Jiggy pieces, but as soon as I started to see small elephant heads, I cannot see anything else.
Small elephant heads?
Yeah, with the trunk and like the ears.
Not gonna like, I can see what you're thinking of now.
Now you cannot unsee it. I've ruined this carpet for everyone forever.
I still think it's far-fetched.
No, elephant. Far-fetched is a bird.
Alright, and with that we will be able to get onto the 3rd level. Oh, I need these notes. Always forget that it's the first time that you come here with Town Trots, which is why we save all these notes for this point in the run. And with that, we will be getting a few notes here. The honeycomb will save it for later. And with that, we can enter the 3rd level. And with that, we'll be doing our first glitch of the run, pretty much.
It's gonna be pretty crazy. There we go.
Right. Okay. So let me explain what just happened there. So basically, what I did is that I basically shot an enemy that was off screen right as I was talking to Bazai to learn the rat-a-tat-rat ability. And basically, since I was talking to Bazai as the enemy hit the enemy, as the egg hit the enemy, I basically gained control during the cutscene, and all of that was done to basically no HP drop. All of that was basically done to skip the text boxes of that you get when you learn the move. The thing with the frozen camera is just an annoying side effect that the devs did to basically reduce lag during cutscenes, where they just take a screenshot of the background. We'll be doing that a couple of times more in the run, but not as flashy as this one. Because for this one, it's actually quite realistic to just unfreeze the camera, since the movement is... You can definitely see what you're doing, because you have all these collectibles along the way. It looks scary, but it's not too bad. And with that, we have another Klungo fight. And I basically lured him at the top of the screen because if he, for some reason, if he tries to reach like the very top of the screen, like where I was stuck there, he just cannot go there, and he instead like he ends his walking phase early. And with that, I'm able to save like 4 seconds over the fight. All right, and in this room, we will basically be having like a puzzle with battery eggs, which I learned like in the first room of the manor, except I can just skip everything by just jumping to the Jiggy. Like, you can probably see that there's some moving platforms there that like you're supposed to use to get the Jiggy, but we can just do that without. Alright, and starting here will be the part of the run where health management starts becoming an issue, because I'm gonna be damage boosting 3 times in this section to save time. And as you guys could notice, I have 4 HP in this game, so I'm gonna be spending a long time at 1 HP after these 3 damage boosts, and that can be scary. Oh, yeah. So there, you're just meant to drill the crack 3 times, and you can do that just to get the Jiggy. But yeah, with that, we'll be able to damage use a second time to go through 2 enemies. Now here, you're supposed to kill a bunch of Gruntling to get a few Jiggies, and the fastest way to kill everything there. Yeah, let me just do that. I messed up there. But yeah, I was supposed to do a big buster, but I kind of messed up the inputs, and it's hard to basically recover in a fast way. And with that, we'll be able to damage boost a 3rd time. Oh, not sure what happened there. Yeah. that Windows menu just popped up.
Nothing like a good update at 4 AM.
Yeah, I saw that they were trying to do that. And with that, we're gonna leave the level with 69 nodes. Nice. So basically, this level is the only level in the game that forces backtracking on us, and the reason for that is because we need a later transformation to get a Jiggy in this game, in this level, my bad. So that way we will save some of the left side of the level for later. And now I'm still at 1 HP, and this is a scary part because everything there does a lot of damage, and I need these nodes for the next part of the level, for the next level, since I skipped like 30 nodes in the previous level.
You did very well. That was very tight movement.
Yeah, that's an extremely scary part to do in a run, especially at 1 HP, since anything kills you and you just lose like 20 seconds if you die there, since you do have to go back to get the nodes. And with that, we're in Spiller's Arbor, and this level probably has the most backtracking out of any level in the game. So here we're gonna basically break the manual for the Jinjo there, but except we're not gonna get it now. There's a better time later in the run to actually get it. So basically, let me explain the backtracking right now. Basically, we don't have enough nodes for like the most expensive node for this of this level. So basically, I'm gonna be like getting a bunch of nodes in the top part of this level, so that I have enough like nodes for ice eggs, which will unlock basically the entire level. As well as doing like a bunch of side quests that are faster to do it now. So here we have this. We can jump through these V's without taking a hit. It's just really precise, so I messed up there. But yeah, we have all these nodes that we collected here, so with that we'll be able to get enough nodes to learn ice eggs. And as you can see, I just have the exact count.
Yeah. So that is the most expensive move of the game, right?
Not in the game, but in this level, yes.
Okay.
We still have fire eggs to get in
yes.
the last level. Right, and with that, we're probably gonna be doing like the hardest boss fight in the game, this Grunty fight right here. So, as a note, the movement that Grunty makes is completely random there, so you basically have to hope that you just hit the target. And running out of eggs is like something that can be a really big problem. Because you can be stuck like waiting for an egg nest to respawn. So I'm basically gonna be juggling between trying to hit Grunty and trying to get a few ice eggs along the way.
She is not being cooperative right now. Okay.
All right, that was a good backup, honestly. I would not take this on a PB attempt, but like in a no reset run, it's pretty good. So yeah, now we got we have ice eggs and we got the Mumbo Skull of this level, which will unlock another transformation. Oh, damn! I almost got stuck there in the corner. So let me just kill these birds real quick, so that way we can get an ice cream cone
From Mr. Drippy.
Yep. And the name of the beautiful bird that got us the ice cream is called Alfred Peacock. So now we'll be using the transformation in this game, the octopus. For some reason, the octopus in this game is really OP. It swims a lot faster than Banjo, and it also survives like any kind of water that may be detrimental to Banjo, including polluted water. I would not suggest putting the octopuses in polluted water in real life, but in this game, like, it's apparently fine, as Banjo would take damage from swimming in that. Right? So here, this section is really fun to do fast, as all the enemies are cycle-based. Alright, now I'm probably much gonna be yellowing the cycles because it's so rare that I messed up there. So some enemies don't move, but some do move, and I just don't know where they are now.
Good backup.
All right, that was a mid-air jump I just did there, frame perfect, and it saves like a third of a second because you don't get to fall straight down out of the loading zone. And now you might think that I'm done with transformations, but in a shocking way of event, we're gonna be using the rat again for the third time in this run, as the rat has quite a bit to do in this level.
In the game as a whole.
So we have this little garden section there that the mouse has to do.
Because a waist-high fence is something that Banjo cannot jump over.
Obviously.
Even though he can jump over like cliffs 4 times his size, that fence is way too much.
See, the mouse doesn't even jump doesn't jump as high as Banjo, and I feel like even it could do that. Yeah. But Rare said no, and decided to put like huge invisible walls just to force you to go through that tiny hole.
So this part casually is where you're trying to see the yellow notes on yellow sand, and it's pretty easy to miss one.
Yeah. Usually people end up with 95 notes at the end of the game, at the end of this level, and they're like, where are the notes? And they're like in the middle of this maze.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like a 2-in-1 maze too, because I solved the bottom part of the maze. Now it's time to do the top part of the maze where I go on the walls. And it is extremely scary to do the diagonal jumps like I do, because if you fall there, it's like 40 seconds lost, because you have to go all the way back to the milk carton to go back up. Oh, getting blocked there. But here we're going to be using a mechanic which I've yet to explain. So basically, there are these sections in the game where you're just not allowed to be in with transformations. Like there, if I jump into like the sewers with the rat, I just cannot jump out of the hole. So to prevent any soft locks, the game just warps you back at Bumbo if you reach these locations, and it saves a bit of time. Bridges is just walking back. I also did the exact same thing with the octopus, but I forgot to explain what it was. So here's a triple frame perfect trick, which saves 20 seconds. So basically, I'm shooting an enemy that's off screen, and I'm gonna try to use the knockback at the end of my backflip to basically skip a spring pad switch. All right. If I mess up like 3 more times, I'm just gonna do it the legit way. Okay then. I was close a couple of times there. If you don't see me turn, that means that I was like 1 frame too fast.
It is a very hard trick.
But yeah, it's like one of the most annoying jiggies in the game too, casually, because these, like when you do these, when you do this jiggy, like you have to do it all in one go, and it's extremely easy to die too, as you're doing this jiggy. So if you die at any point, like you have to redo the whole sequence. And with that, we are pretty much done with this top section, but we only need to trade in our 5 coins to reach another slide mini game. And with that, we're pretty much going to be doing a cleanup of the level.
Yeah, they were really proud of that sliding mini game. It pops in the in many places in the game.
Yeah, fun fact, in this slide alone, you actually move left and right faster than the other slides.
Yeah, so they actually did great slide control, but only kept it for this one.
Yep.
It's like, how about we make it clunky for the other ones?
Even in the credits, where it's like just a giant slide mini game, they use the slower speed. I never got that. Here I'm making sure. I tried to get the 3rd boost like as late as I could there because it saves a couple of frames, but I missed it. And now here comes like a funny trick that was thought to be test only when it was discovered, but just in that one spot you can actually do it.
Ooh.
So basically, you remember that part where I said that like if you like alternate speed, like next to shore, you can basically get a lot of speed. Well, basically, as soon as like you pass like double like the regular speed, the game stops applying applying gravity on you, so you can have these insane jumps that allow you to like be really high. And all of that saves 8 seconds because you skip a spring pad doing so.
Yeah, this is the trick that the tool-assisted speedrun uses way more. But yeah, this specific spot was the one spot where we could actually use it by a human.
Yeah, for some reason in that one spot alone, like you can rub against the wall and you will not move, so it makes it really easy to build some speed. Because you pretty much like need like frame perfect meshing at like 16 times a second.
Yeah.
If you want to do it like the TAS way. So now we just unlocked the last level of the game, Freezing Furnace. Fun fact, in the demo that I talked about earlier, this level was split in half, so a nice level and a middle foundry level, but they got instead combined into one level. And that's the level I'm about to do. So remember that honeycomb I skipped earlier, where I'm getting it now. Just making sure that I'm getting it. And here there's a mini game that you're supposed to do there, but I'm gonna save it for later. Basically, this mini game switches you to blue eggs when you do it, and I would rather save it for later, as it's more convenient. So everything in this level does either 2, 3, or 4 HP to me, so it's gonna be really scary to not die. For instance, the lava here does 3. The green goo I'm about to jump on top of, it does 4, so it's an instant death. And all the enemies do 2. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Most of them do too. And with that, we're pretty much going to be doing a lot of damage boost because it saves time to do so. So here, there's a puzzle where we have to spell Gruntilda. And with that, we'll get our Jiggy.
Yeah, spell it through damage boosting through the poison, which is pretty, pretty hard to do.
And here I'm gonna slide 2 switches. Oh, I need ice eggs. There we go. I'm gonna take it safe, since I lost my rhythm there.
You were supposed to do this part while on a platform, but no time to wait for the platform. We just jump on the girders.
Yeah, there's like the second switch that I hit is like barely reachable from that pipe, like, and you probably did not even see where it was, but it was like really far off where I was there. And here I'm actually jumping off the stage to prevent Klungo from moving, just like I was luring him like at the top of the screen in the fight in Bad Magic Bayou. This time I'm just gonna jump off the stage because Klungo stops moving if like you fall off the stage, just to give you a chance to come back. Also, nice Pillar's Arbor music in that cutscene.
So yeah, Go-Go has been collecting the health upgrade through the game, but he's not cashing them in right now, which is why his health is still very low, and this is a very dangerous level.
Yeah, pretty much. After all, it takes 13 seconds to go for a health upgrade, and that's way too slow.
Yeah.
So right now, I believe that I'm at, I forget, I'm at 1 or 2 HP right now. I'm gonna assume I'm at 2, so I'm gonna be doing a dead warp coming up soon. So right there, I would throw myself in the water there, but I'm gonna use the enemy instead since it does too.
Also, expanding the lore, we just saw like a minute ago how jiggies are made.
True.
By putting gold in a furnace. So they are indeed made of gold.
Yeah. We even get the lore of jiggies in this game, and I never thought of it this way. So we have a mini game where we need to collect the most stuff out of anyone. I think it's a good time for a donation, if there's one.
No, but there's more reasons to make donation. There's a bonus tier for the 9 Delicious Circle of Hell that is almost there, just a little bit more than $200. And there's also at 8,000 we will have the infamous trailer of Mighty Number 9. So let's go. And there's still the stream background and the stream borders that are all open since it's D3. And there's still no donation, so if you want a new border or a new background, it's time to get it because everything's at 0 so far.
All right. So like $1 can actually change the stream background.
Exactly, and it will be your choice.
Right. Right. So you have this cutscene that shows you that you're supposed to take the bottom path to get the Jiggy. We're not going to do that, and instead we're going to do this path instead since we need to collect the 2 notes that are on there. And we're going to get this note on our way there since it's slightly faster. So right here, we're gonna be using not 1, not 2, but 3 transformations, starting with the octopus. You might have seen me like go away from like the new transformation. There's a reason for that. It saves like half a second to go with the order that I do, since I'll explain later actually. So we have the octopus that we've seen before that can also survive icy water. And with that, we're gonna be doing pretty much the exact same thing that we did with Spiller's Arbor with the octopus. We have a long tunnel that's cycle based, and this one is just really easy because you can just press against the wall the whole way, and you'll never get hit. All right, now it's time for the second transformation. Is it the rat? Nope, it's not the rat.
Oh my god.
We'll get something else. Now it's time for the transformation from the 3rd level, which we have not yet seen. It's the candle. So are you guys ready for the candle?
Yeah.
It's the best one. Just look at that. Look at this good movement of the candle. It's so good. It's insane, and we're done with the candle.
It is, I mean, if people were surprised of the washing machine from the original game, I think Kendall is like way more in the Banjo spirit in terms of weirdness.
Right. And now here comes the 3rd transformation of this level, the tank. It's the one that we just unlocked by fighting Klungo. And it's the one that forces backtracking into the 3rd level because we do need this transformation to get 1 Jiggy. And with that, we can go on the green goo that would one-shot us. And the tank cannot jump, so what can we do with something that cannot jump? Of course, platform puzzles. It's exactly what the tank is used for in this game.
It's like a Captain Toad before. Before Captain Toad came out.
And with that, we're done with transformations. Now we only need to do some backtracking to basically do some cleanup.
This game is surprisingly low on backtracking. I think there's only like 1 or 2 instances where like backtracking is mandatory.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which always surprises me. It's like why isn't there 0? But
now you may be wondering, oh, that was a bad one. What have I done? There's actually a really easy way to know which one is bad and which one is good. Those that stop and go are good, and those that go in a continuous motion are bad. The bottom was good. You can. It is actually possible to fail this mini game in runs. I was quite close there at 7 seconds.
Because I think any kind of those like fishing minigame, once you're close to the end, there's less available in the pond to fish as well.
Only the first one.
Okay,
like,
only the sheep.
Yeah. For this one, there's as many fish as you want. And now it's time for the G0goTBC. What an unfortunate spot for the G0goTBC because it's like in the deepest spot in the level. So once we're done with this, we're pretty much gonna be taking a walk of shame back to the entrance of the level because we basically have nothing left to do. Oh, movement's quite weird to do there.
There we go.
Yep, and with that, we're done with this level. And now it's finally time to do the dolphin minigame that I skipped earlier. So the pattern is exactly the same each time. Even here, when you have to wait a little more, it's the same. So you can definitely do this minigame frame perfectly every time. Come on, jump.
Yeah, this dolphin like was kind of hungry, and he was like, "Oh, the best way to cure my hunger is to get shot in the face with a dozen eggs."
I mean, apparently it's his favorite snack, so.
But like, there's eggs lying around everywhere. It's like, no, they need to be shot in my face.
Yeah, there you go. Now we get the easy version of the fishing minigame where we can actually see the ones that are good. I guess I'm gonna go for the double there. Woo! Oh. I'm not gonna chance that. I was gonna try to go for a double there with the crab at the end, which would not damage me, but like it's so risky if I fail. So this section, you're supposed to do it backwards, like compared to what I'm doing, but it seems like a second and a half to do it the way I'm doing if you do it well. I didn't do it well, so I didn't save time doing it, but at least I tried.
It's still the swag of doing it backwards.
Yeah, and if you do it well, like there's a damage boot that extends your jump like to the jiggy, and it looks so good too. So now it's time for the candle again, and this time we have a much longer section where we actually need to light up some candles. But before that, we need to do a blind jump pretty much. We're gonna be doing a jump out of this cutscene, which can be really tricky to do. Okay, there we go. This green goo one-shots you, by the way. And with that, we're gonna be doing this puzzle, which has the exact same solution every time. And you can light up more than 2 candles at once if you jump before rolling. And with that, we're gonna be going on our way back to Mumba's school.
I like how they gave you the candle transformation where it's like the master of fire, and you're like, oh my god, what can I do with all this firepower? And it's like, oh, you can light up other candles.
Yeah. Fun fact, if you were to clip into this cave like early with Banjo, which is possible, it's not possible to shoot fire eggs at these candles to light them up.
Yeah, because you have fire eggs as well.
Yeah.
But like, it's not the same fire, you know?
True. It's like in Freezing Furnace where you have set fireworks. How do you light them up? Do you shoot fire eggs? Do you blast them with like the tank? No, you just use the candle.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna be doing this puzzle, which is the reason why we had to do backtracking.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna be done with the level. We're just gonna be going on our way. We're just gonna be going back to the entrance, collecting everything else along the way.
Yeah, it might not be obvious, but the section where Go-Go was in was actually where the air was toxic. But he didn't stay long enough for it to matter.
Yeah, true. All right, so now we're pretty much done with all the levels in this game. We still have 2 Jiggies to get in the overworld, and with that, this is gonna be 100%. So we finally get this Jinjo that we dodged like 2 or 3 times already. It's finally here. It's like the second to last collectible that we get in the whole run.
So does this still give you a hint on how to beat the game?
I believe so, yeah, because the game like doesn't expect you to save it for last.
Yeah. So I know you just completed the game, but here's a tip.
I wonder, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember what it even says. Like, I think it gives you tips on how to be Grunty or something like that.
But we already know how to beat Grunty, so...
Yeah, but yeah, this is gonna be our last Jiggy of the run, and with that, we're gonna be ready to fight Grunty. So here you're meant to use to melt an ice cube to get there, but you can just do a really precise jump to this platform. And here it's time for an 8.5-minute boss fight.
Yeah.
If you do the intended way. However, there is a way to skip some of these phases. So basically, I did something similar to what I did with the like the move thing I did earlier. Hold on, I'm gonna answer that first. Basically, like if you're not like in the egg firing mode and the egg hits an enemy, the game like assumes that you rolled into them and it gives you a knockback. And so you can skip the first 2 phases. And here you have 7 questions to answer to get past the first 2 phases, and any of these phases can be a mini game, and that loses between. I think it's a good thing that I missed, honestly. Yeah. On a PB attempt, I would like risk and lose health, but in a marathon run, it's probably safer to not do that.
Yeah, so all those quiz or questions are random, so you hope for a normal question where you can answer instead of a long minigame that lost.
Yeah, a minigame can lose with like up to 1.5 minutes. Farm, Grunty Industries.
So in true Banjo-Kazooie's fashion, there's this little quiz, but they actually incorporated it in the boss fights.
Yes.
For this one. So I'm trying to, because those are audio cues, audio questions.
Yeah, and here comes here comes like the phase that matters, where it's pretty much all in at the scroller because you can skip it. So, something to note is that if you for some of the phases, like you want to try to lure Grunty into the middle, like the robot, so that the soul takes less time to like go on next to a wall and back at Grunty. So like here, I want to put her in the middle. It can save like half a second per phase. But yeah, time is gonna be as soon as I do the last hit, so when the health goes from 1 to 0.
Yeah. So this boss is a gauntlet, and if you die, you get back to like the beginning of that whole 9-minute fight.
A lot of people that I've seen play this game like have spent more time on the boss fight itself than the rest of the game, just to give an idea. It's like 8.5 minutes of pure endurance and consistency.
There's like,
and you need.
Yeah, there's 3 phases. You need to re-answer the quizzes, replay the mini games. It's
Yeah, and each spell does 2 to you, so you die in 2 hits if you don't go for any health upgrades. So here we have a homing spell, and Grunty's movement is random. So sometimes you can get stuck in a corner and you just have to jump over the spell. Oh, all right. And with that, time. Woo!
sub 1 hour.
Damn, sub 1 hour at my first real life marathon. That's insane. Only 2 people have done that. So yeah, I would like to thank Mob for the commentary. I would like to shout out the Banjo-Kazooie community, and I would like to shout out also that 100% task that's currently being made. So if you guys like this, it may come out in a few months. So you guys will get to see like this game being completely broken with insane speed build-ups. If you have enjoyed this game, if you have enjoyed watching this game, I would suggest a playthrough, and if you really liked it, to speedrun it. I really would like to have more competition with this game. So with that, I'm Go-Go-TBC, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Go-Go-TBC, for this awesome run of Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. Next, we have Mario Kart 64 with OBO.